Hello and welcome to Will Watches. This is Office Space. So I know this film, there's loads of memes that have come out of this. A few of the kind of older memes, there's the guy who's like really nerdy sitting in this chair, that one. And it's the, oh, if you could just guy, you know, and this is like a satire on office life, the kind of office work environment, the kind of mundanity of that. So I'm really looking forward to this. Before we jump into this, be sure to check out the Patreon. Over there you can find 1 week early access. You can also find polls so you can vote for what's next, and you can find a full-length timer-based version of this where you can sync up your own footage and watch along with me. So yeah, let's just jump right in. Of course, the commute, yeah, everyone's just stuck in traffic. yeah. Public transport, walkable cities for the win. Although commuting on public transport is still a pain.
I see your monkey ass drop and let your homies know who done it. Cause when it comes to this gangster shit, you mother.
I wonder if they'll explain what the company actually is Initech, but I have this feeling that they're not even going to explain what it is. It's all just generic sounding terms and stuff, you know.
Just a moment. Corporate accounts payable, Nina speaking.
Oh yeah, that's so grating.
Did you see the memo about this?
Yeah. Not shipping out till tomorrow, so there's no problem.
Yeah.
He's just so condescending. Oh, I hate it.
If Sandra's going to listen to her headphones while she's falling, then I should be able to listen to the radio while I'm collating. So I don't see why I should have to turn.
Why can't he wear headphones too, though?
Hi, Peter. What's happening? We need to talk about your TPS report.
And he's like constantly being interrupted from actually doing any work, isn't he?
Yes. I have the memo.
He's just constantly reminding him, yeah.
Naga. No. Michael Bolton?
That's me.
Wow, is that your real name?
Bolton.
Were you related to that singer guy?
No, it's just a coincidence.
I thought was she struggling to say Bolton as well?
Why don't you just go by Mike instead of Michael?
No way. Why should I change? He's the one who sucks.
Uh-oh. Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
Okay, so these two don't seem as insufferable as everyone else.
I don't understand. I could program a virus that would rip that place off big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
Not gonna actually do it or something. Try and scam the company because they're so sick of it.
I get thinking that she's cheating on me.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Do they know something more?
I think that the guy might actually be able to help. I mean, he did help Anne lose weight.
Peter, she's anorexic.
Yeah, I know. The guy's really good.
Is she cheating on him with the therapist? But if you were, you wouldn't want to introduce the two, would you?
But what you're really doing is interviewing for your own job.
Tom, every week you say you're gonna lose your job and you're still here.
Not this time. I bet I'm the first one laid off.
Yeah, it seems like everyone's kind of like a caricature of what you find in an actual office. You got someone paranoid, they'll constantly lose their job, the kind of asshole boss, the annoying kind of receptionist lady who's got the annoying like phone voice.
You see, it would be this mat that you would put on the floor and would have different conclusions written on it that you could jump to.
Yeah, that's your $1 million idea.
What you would do if you had $1 million. Didn't have to work. And then invariably, whatever you'd say, that was supposed to be your career.
So what did you say?
I never had an answer.
Yeah, never know what it was to do.
The point of the exercise is that you're supposed to figure out what you would want to do. If PC load letter.
Yeah, if you didn't actually need to work, what job would you do? I mean, I'd do this. I think I've already got that figured out. I'd do YouTube full time if I could, or just like social media full time.
Hey, Peter, man. Check out Channel 9. Check out this chick.
Damn it. Lawrence, can't you just pretend like we can't hear each other through the wall?
Oh, sorry, man. Ann over there or something?
Talk to me, just come over.
Yeah, so weird. Just An invasion of privacy, I guess.
Jeez, Lawrence.
Well, I'm sorry, man. I thought you want to see this. Doesn't that chick look like Ann?
Yeah, a little bit.
But you don't necessarily want to be reminded, but they're not broken up, are they? They're just struggling with their relationship.
I don't know. Sometimes I get the feeling like she's cheating on me.
Yeah, I get that feeling too, man.
That she's cheating, or that he thinks other people are cheating on him? When you're that feeling of being paranoid that you're being cheated on.
When you come in on Monday and you're not feeling real well, does anyone ever say to you, sounds like someone has a case of the Mondays?
No.
Yeah, because he's doing this manual labor stuff.
We still going fishing this weekend?
Lumberg's gonna have me come in on Saturday. I just know it.
It's always the case of the grass is always greener on the other side, you know. If you're doing manual labor, you think, oh, a nice office job would be lovely, just sitting there doing nothing. Then when you're in a boring office job, thinking, oh, like problem solving, physical skills.
Well, what about you now? What would you do?
Besides two chicks at the same time?
Well, yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing, huh?
Does he still not know what he wants to do, or does he just want to, relax all day?
Well, you don't need $1 million to do nothing, man. Take a look at my cousin. He's broke, don't do shit.
But you need the money to be able to do nothing, really, or do nothing in a comfortable way.
Helping us out a little here, asking some questions, maybe seeing if there are some ways we can make things run a little more smoothly.
Okay, so he was right. Being paranoid about the consultant.
Friday is Hawaiian Shirt Day.
Everyone loves Hawaiian Shirt Day. Look at them. Yeah, it's always just like they throw these random days like Hawaiian Shirt Day or like a pizza day to try and keep morale up, but it's never like any good. Just pay people more if you want them to have better morale, be more enthused about their job. Oh, does he have like a scheduled walk around, or he always comes around this time of day? Obviously, he's trying to avoid him. I know that, yeah, trying to avoid your boss. Just avoiding all of those awkward conversations.
Hello, Peter. What's happening? I'm gonna need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, coming on the Saturday.
Great. Okay.
He wasn't even like...
Oh, and I almost forgot. I'm also gonna need you to go ahead and come in on Sunday.
That's the meme, isn't it? Just there. He's not even saying like, oh, can you come in on Sunday? Can you come in on Saturday? It's just, I need you to come in. It's like the expectation to be there, rather than him asking if there's even like, are you even available on those days?
Is today the worst day of your life?
Yeah.
Wow, that's messed up.
Even the therapist.
Just zonk me out so that like I don't know that I'm at work in here.
Yeah. Isn't that kind of the quiet quitting trend that's been going on at the moment? Well, it's kind of a stupid thing. The whole quiet quitting thing is just doing your job but not exceeding expectations, you know?
3, deeper and deeper, way down.
Why is he sweating so much? It's so concentrated.
1.
Did he hypnotize himself somehow?
Is he breathing?
Or knock himself out? And now Peter is just completely relaxed and he's not going to get out of it until the finger snap. I mean, this could be exactly what he needed. Oh, is he just not going in?
About 10 o'clock. Yeah, just wondering where you are.
The way he talks is so infuriating. All of the, it's like Bill, it's 10 o'clock.
So if you could just go ahead and get here as soon as possible, that would be terrific.
It's just all of the, like, that kind of corporate talk.
Yeah, hi, it's Bill Lumber. Hi, it's Bill Lumber. Yeah, it's me again.
Yeah, he just starts everything with yeah.
I didn't feel like it.
Peter, what's gotten into you? First you just sit there while Dr. Swanson dies, then you just walk out of the car and...
The doctor died?
Don't blame this on hypnosis either.
But it does seem like it is actually kind of the hypnosis.
Oh, and one more thing. I've been cheating on you!
Yeah. Everyone suspected that anyway, that's not a surprise. Oh, is he actually gonna get the courage to work out Jennifer Aniston as well?
What are you doing for lunch today?
Well, our specials today are blackened chicken.
Yeah, that's not what he was asking.
Would you like to have lunch with me?
Yeah, I don't think I'm supposed to.
Yeah, she's at work. She's gonna be working.
Is you take the specifications from the customers and you bring them down to the software engineers.
Yes, yes, that's...
He's just so nervous. Look at him.
Take them directly to the software people, huh? Well, I'll tell you why.
Oh, is the reason he's so paranoid for losing his job is because he just kind of has like a bullshit job, like it's not really a job that's needed.
What would you say you do here?
Well, look, I already told you. I deal with the goddamn customers so the engineers don't have...
If he's doing like the customer service, yeah, the people skills, the dealing, that makes sense, instead of having to just look at him, just like instead of having the software people having to deal with like the customers making complaints and stuff, that would make sense.
I do. I'm a Michael Bolton fan. For my money, I don't know if it gets any better than when he sings When a Man Loves a Woman.
But you must really love his music, huh?
His music taste is like the complete opposite, isn't it? It's all rap.
I celebrate the guy's entire catalog. Anyway, let's get down to business, Michael.
You know, you can just call me Mike.
Is it like they liked him just, you know, through the name association? He could have wrangled his way out of it just from them liking the singer.
Yeah, what do you do there?
I sit in a cubicle, and I update bank software for the 2000 switch.
Oh, for the 2000... Yeah, this came out in 99, right? So they had the whole Y2K scare.
I don't think I'm gonna go anymore.
You're just not gonna go?
Yeah.
Won't you get fired?
I don't know.
Will they even realise he's gone? You know, there's some jobs that are so inconsequential that people just don't do them and no one ever notices. Or stories of people who are like good at coding and can just code away their job and they just sit there doing nothing because they can just run a software to do it for them.
Thanks a bunch, Milton. But
bye.
Okay, but I could set the building on fire.
Oh, he is actually coming in. Is he just coming in to quit?
Would you walk us through a typical day for you?
I generally come in at least 15 minutes late.
Yeah.
Side door. That way Lumberg can't see me. And,
I was wondering if he'd maybe, you know, say how useless some of the other people are.
I'd say in a given week, I probably only do about 15 minutes of real, actual work. Now, if I work my ass off and Initech ships a few extra units, I don't see another dime. So where's the motivation? And here's something else, Bob.
Is he actually like getting through to them a bit as well?
When I make a mistake, I have 8 different people coming by to tell me about it. That's my only real motivation, is not to be hassled.
It sounds like they're convinced, like the look on their face.
The pleasure's all on this side of the table, trust me.
Good luck with your layoffs, all right? I hope your firings go really well.
Did he actually manage to convince them that, you know, people aren't motivated to work and they need to do something to get people motivated more? Cut out some of the bureaucracy as well of having 8 different bosses.
Now, you know, it's up to you whether or not you want to just do the bare minimum or, well, like Brian, for example, has 37.
Well, it's the, what's the phrase? Minimum wage, minimum effort. And, you know, so it's just like even in this restaurant environment, there's still all of this kind of bullshit stuff happening in the jobs. I had the same when I worked in fast food.
You do want to express yourself, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
She wants to express herself, but it's like corporate mandated expression, and if you actually try to express yourself, you probably break, you know, dress code or something, having like loads of jewelry or whatever.
Laid off 5 years ago and no one ever told him about it.
But through some kind of glitch in the payroll department, he still gets a paycheck.
Yeah. So he's been fired and didn't even know.
Self out naturally. We always like to avoid confrontation when.
So he's just going to carry on working and not get paid?
Yeah. Well, I'm just not sure about that right now.
Yeah, Bill, let me ask you a real quick question.
Are you gonna... Okay, they've got to bill, yeah.
Spend each week dealing with these TPS reports.
Yeah.
He didn't think he would be confronted with this. So does Peter have Bill's job now? Or was that just him coming in and not caring where he parks? Okay, yeah, Bill hasn't been fired yet.
Niggas don't flex nuts, 'cause real gangsta ass niggas know they got. Wanna be coochie eating jealous.
Yeah, of course. I was thinking someone disabled's got to come along and need a parking spot or something. But look at this, yeah, he's just enjoying life so much better. Oh, and his neighbour's coming along too. That's actually nicer, yeah, with the window, a bit of a view.
Look, I'm gonna have to ask you to go ahead and just come back another time. I got a meeting with the Bobs in a couple of minutes.
And the Bobs just absolutely love him. Oh my god, yeah, Milton's just surrounded.
Looks like you've been missing a lot of work lately.
I wouldn't say I've been missing it, Bob.
We're going to be getting rid of these people here. First, Mr. Samir Naga.
Is he gonna convince them to keep his friends on?
You're gonna lay off Samir and Michael.
Oh, yeah, we're going to bring in some entry-level graduates, farm some work out to Singapore. It's usual deal.
Yeah, so they can pay them less, of course.
Studies have statistically shown that there's less chance of an incident if you do it at the end of the week.
Yeah, I guess so. Because then they can just go home for the weekend.
This is a big promotion, Pete.
It's huge.
So you're gonna fire Michael and Samir and you're gonna give me more money?
Yeah, give the money to Michael and Samir.
There comes a point in a man's life, and maybe that time for you is now, when it doesn't hurt to start thinking about the future.
Yeah, you're trying to ease him into it.
But you better snap out of it and get your shit together. You're gonna get canned.
He's the one who's got like the most security at the moment.
Virus you're always talking about, right? The one that could rip off the company for a bunch of money.
Oh, yeah, get that sorted before he gets fired, yeah.
What's to stop you from doing this?
It's not worth the risk. I got a good job.
That he won't have soon.
Samir and I are the best programmers they got at that place. And you haven't been showing up and you get to keep your job.
Actually, I'm being promoted.
What?
Yeah, it's always the worst people that get promoted and the hard workers that don't.
I don't know what happened to me at that hypnotherapist, and
this is just kind of proof of the kind of gift of the gab. Like, if you're interpersonal and you can get along with the management, they're so much better than actually being like hardworking. If you're like hardworking and shy and introverted compared to just extroverted and can get along with everyone, sometimes that's better. Of course, if you can do both, that's great, but not everyone can.
For 5 years now, you've worked your ass off at Initech, hoping for a promotion or some kind of profit sharing or something.
That's why so many people now, it's better to job hop instead of just waiting for a promotion, because they just never come.
And let's take enough money out of that place so that we never ever have to sit in a cubicle ever again.
Yeah, so they are actually going to go through with this.
Look, even if I wanted to, I wouldn't know how to install it. I don't know that credit union software well enough, okay?
Yeah, but Samir does.
Yeah, all three of them working together, then it's perfect.
But I'm not going to do anything illegal.
Illegal? Samir, this is America.
Okay, I'll do it.
That's what I'm talking about when I talk about America.
How about we discuss the plan, okay?
Okay, yeah, good, right. Okay.
Is this going to be like a little bit of a heist? That would be cool.
Don't worry, man. I won't tell anyone either.
Oh god, the neighbor. That was a cool shot under the desk. They must have had a glass table for that. He calls the file, like in the file name, the file is virus. But like, that's a bit obvious.
So I'm chasing bitches like Tom chasing Jerry.
Bit of a fourth wall break there. The look of disgust as he's just looking in the camera.
So when you wanna get together,
and now that he's kind of like higher up, there probably won't be as many questions if he's seen doing something dodgy, I guess. But the thing is, it's all going into account. Do they all have access to this account? Like, how do they split the money fairly and make sure no one's just going to run off with all of it?
Yeah, he decides he wants to live.
Yeah, I think I'm okay.
His wife inspired him. He didn't die after that. Yeah, of course, yeah.
Is he okay? Sort of. He broke both his wrists.
Oh, okay, so he's in hospital still.
But check it out, he's gonna get a huge settlement out of this. Like 7 figures.
Oh, so he's become a millionaire? Yeah, this is exactly what they were saying. If you quit or was fired and suddenly had $1 million, suddenly had $1 million, what would you do? He's living their dream, even though he's in the hospital. But Samir, he was in the middle of saying, what did you do with the disc, the hard disk? And then they were interrupted there by Drew, so is that a problem? He left it in the computer. Oh. Little anger management gets to beat up the printer. Yeah, he's gonna end up hurting himself, bruising his fist or something.
Good night. Back up in your S with the resurrection.
You want to do something drunk, like drunk drive and get hit or something, or tell someone while he's drunk.
All right, so when the subroutine compounds the interest, right, it uses all these extra decimal places.
Okay, so he's actually telling her. There's the one rule, don't tell anyone.
You're gonna make a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
Right? It's not yours?
Well, it becomes ours.
Yeah, it's exactly stealing, but he's just trying to say it nicely.
You know, the Nazis had pieces of flair, but they made the Jews wear
Don't know about that comparison.
Somebody I'd like you to meet is Joanna.
Hi.
Hi. Forgive me for not getting up.
As in, he's got the lawyer here. The lawyer's not going to talk to them and figure out they've been like fired wrongly somehow or something.
But I bet I hated my job even more than you. And I've been doing it for over 30 years.
Wow. But he eventually seemed to be happy later.
Kick someone's ass the first day or become someone's bitch. Then everything will be all right.
They're both panicking now.
Like with who? Oh, let's see. How Lumberg fucked her.
Is this all just rumors, or what? Is he talking about the other lady that's standing there? It was probably something fake and it's just got in his head, hasn't it?
Oh, right, Lumberg.
Oh. She actually did.
Lumberg.
Peter, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, it was so long ago, it doesn't matter, but...
Lumberg.
That is great.
Oh no! What's the worst crime possible? Manslaughter or sleeping with Lumberg? I reckon maximum security prison for sleeping with Lumberg.
If you want me to wear 37 pieces of flair like your pretty boy over there, Brian, why don't you just make the minimum 37 pieces?
Yeah, exactly. If you're doing the minimum, if it's the bare minimum, it's enough to coast by, so that should be enough.
All right, there's my flair, okay? And this is me expressing myself.
Yeah, how much is actually in the account now? I feel like it's only like a few $100 a day, maybe even less.
Oh shit.
Shit.
What happened?
You tell me, Michael, it's your software. Yes, it's your...
There's something wrong with the software? It's taking too much? Is it taking too much, or is the company like laundering money, making loads more money than it should be or something?
Let's just calm down. Let's try to figure this thing out together.
Yeah, better to just figure it out, then start blaming each other. But they're not even going to be allowed in the office, are they? If they see them all rushing in, they're going to know something's out.
Now, Milton, don't be greedy. Let's pass it along and make sure everyone gets a piece.
He's not going to get one, is he?
The cake. There's lots of cake.
Come on, Milton, stand up for yourself. Just grab a piece of cake and run off with it.
Is there some way to just give the money back?
What do you mean, just hand them a check for the exact amount they're missing?
Yeah, that'd be way too suspicious. Is the account in their name or something?
Do we know any coke dealers?
My cousin's a cokehead.
They need to start a business or something. Yeah. What if they start a business and it's just a fake business that's bringing in all this money that they... Is Milton actually gonna set the building on fire? I feel like he might.
No, we need you upstairs right away. We got a big problem. Big. Some major glitch in accounting. A lot of money missing.
Okay, so they have realized there's something wrong.
Okay, but that's the last straw.
That's the last straw.
To conceal the source of money as by channeling it through an intermediary.
Do they really not know what money laundering is?
A couple years ago, before he moved to Atlanta.
You mean Ron Lumberg? The
Different Lumberg. Oh, of course.
I think I meant Bill.
So all of that was over nothing. Wow.
Ron's not related to Bill, is he?
It's going to be their next door neighbor, or maybe Joanna.
Good evening, sir. My name is Steve. I come from... That is why I'm selling magazine subscriptions.
No.
And I was hoping... Wait.
You used to be addicted to crack?
They're gonna launder the money through this guy.
I mean, I could talk to him. I have good networking skill.
I lied. All the stuff I said about being a crackhead just helps me sell magazines.
Oh yeah. But they could do it through the magazines. They could do a magazine thing and launder it through the magazine.
I make more money selling magazine subscriptions than I ever did at Intertrode.
At Intertrode?
Wait a minute, you're not gonna tell anybody about all this stuff we told you. I mean, we know a lot of the same people. That's...
Yeah, so he's gonna get a slice of the pie now as well.
What am I gonna do with 40 subscriptions to Vibe?
Oh no, he just bought it. If that was me, I would have said, well, now I know about it, give me 25%.
You are a very bad person, Peter.
Is he still kind of in his, hypnosis thing as well? He's not going to suddenly hear someone snap their finger and him suddenly be depressed again like he was,
Thanks, man. I don't want you fucking up my life, too.
A term of no less than 4 years in a federal pound-me-in-the-ass prison. Peter Gibbons, you've led a trite and meaningless life.
I was worried, they're saying it was a pound me in the ass prison. I was worried, are we going to see a scene of him having a nightmare that Bill is also in the prison? Because we already had one dream sequence sex scene with Bill, didn't we? Is he gonna take all of the blame, give himself up or something? Oh yeah, she quit. Is she working at a nicer place? Yeah, Flingers.
You were right about that computer scam. That was a bad idea. I'm gonna take the blame for it, I decided.
Yeah, he's gonna take the fall.
To work and be happy. Like I'm supposed to, like everybody else.
Peter, most people don't like their jobs.
They just get on with it.
I may never be happy at my job.
But sometimes, you find what you think is your dream job and it just becomes a job again, I feel like there's a chance that he might still get away with it somehow though. He's sneaking in here. If Milton burns the whole building down, then they definitely get away with it, right?
Mr. Lumberg told me to talk to payroll, and then payroll told me to talk to Mr. Lumberg, and I still haven't received.
Yeah, he's just caught in a loop. I've had that before where you're just caught in a loop. Talk to someone, talk to this.
Hey, Peter.
Yeah.
Watch out for your cornhole, bud.
Sirens. Is there a fire? Is there a fire? And yes, Milton did it. So have they all got away with it? They can just take 100 grand each. Does he know it was Milton? He's probably the only one who knows.
Wait a minute. Let me take a look at that.
You don't want that, Peter, man.
Oh, he's working here.
Wanna go to lunch? Drop mine in a pail. Plus, Joanna's supposed to come by a little later.
He's working an honest job now, yeah.
We're gonna be okay, right?
Yeah.
So do they just all have the money?
I wonder if the money burned up. It would be a shame.
Yeah.
Because obviously he had some checks or something that he was giving them, but they still have access to the account, right? Oh, this is the guy who got all the settlement. Yeah.
excuse me, senor?
Oh, Milton.
And I said, no salt for the margarita, but it had salt on it. There's big grains of salt on Lo siento, what happens again? I won't be leaving a tip.
How did he get the money for this? Could he have sued them? Oh, because he found the checks. Okay. He found the envelope.
You afforded tourism and I could have this place condemned.
I thought maybe he had got some money from not being paid all of that time or something, you know? Okay, so that was Office Space. That was really funny. I think, you know, even though this film is over 20 years old, there's still so much that is still relevant here. Even like down to like specific details about office life, people having jobs that aren't, you know, just bullshit jobs. There's that book, Bullshit Jobs by David Graeber, and there's just so much here that still applies, and it just shows how little progress we've really made in kind of work life in the last 20 years. We're still, to this day, there's like the anti-work movement, and then people, you know, we had with COVID, of course, we had people working from home, and there are people still fighting to continue to be able to work from home and not having to come into the office anymore. I think, of course, you have to take Peter with like a grain of salt, because first off, he is like, oh, super bummed out with his job, and he goes to this therapist and everything, and then suddenly he's kind of flipped the exact other way. And I feel like you need to find a middle ground. Like the guy who won all the money was saying, you know, he hated his job at first, but eventually he just kind of learnt to put up with it and found joy within his life in other areas. That's kind of what you need to do if you hate your job. If your job is just there for getting enough money to get by on, that's fine. Your job doesn't need to have like some other significant, profound meaning in your life necessarily. But of course, it's the people at your job kind of forcing that onto you as well, saying, oh, you're just doing the bare minimum, like everything that was happening in the restaurant. And I did like that side as well, seeing Joanna in the restaurant, because it was kind of attacking work culture in general, not just office culture, because we had that side of the restaurant. We never saw any of really the manual labor stuff with Lawrence, because the film always presents it like that is the solution, which I don't think is necessarily the case. I think that is the solution for Peter, that manual labor, what he was doing working with Lawrence, was probably better for him, a better activity for him. But for some people, working in an office environment is the better thing for them. It's just whatever works for you personally, isn't it? And you know, Peter, he does kind of become an asshole a bit as the film progresses. Like, it's fun seeing, oh, suddenly he's like so nonchalant, but he is making other people's lives worse by setting up this scheme, them stealing the money. They did get away with it without any repercussions, really. They got lucky, and Milton actually got all the money. That was hilarious, actually. I thought that Milton had like sued the company for not paying him, because Milton was just completely shat on the whole film. You know, he was completely trod over by Bill. He couldn't stand up for himself at all, really, but he eventually got his revenge. And I think, you know, this is probably always going to be something that people can relate to. You know, we had this, there's like The Office, which is also about the mundanity of office life. I mean, The Office UK is a bit more about that than The Office US. The Office US actually has a bit more of a hopeful spin on it than The Office UK. And then there's so many like bits of like escapist media. This is like quite common, people complaining about their office job and how it just kind of sucks the life away from you, doesn't it? And as I said, I don't think there's necessarily one solution. You know, Peter's solution was he went into doing like manual labor, more that type of work, and he enjoyed that. And then, you know, you could be just working to get enough to live by while you do something else that is your passion. Say you wanted to be a YouTuber, get a job, work your way up while you are doing your job, do this on the side, and maybe eventually you can do it full time. And I know there's people that say, never do something you like as your job, because then it becomes your job, which I can kind of agree on. You know, like if you're an artist and you really like art and then you become an artist as your job, it's not really the art that you don't like anymore, it's the job stuff around the art that you probably wouldn't like. Having to do taxes, having to you know, sort out selling your artwork, packaging your artwork, shipping it off, that kind of side you probably don't like as much. It's actually the creation side that you like the most. Like with me, I really like doing this YouTube stuff, but the hardest thing for me is probably the editing. Sometimes the editing, you can get really bogged down in the editing and it takes hours and hours to do. I don't mind as much doing the thumbnails. Thumbnails are quite creative. I can do that quite easily. And like the process of actually uploading and everything is fine. And running like advertising things on my other social media, whatever, that's fine. But like the editing process, mainly just because of the time sink it is, it can be quite laborious. But I do still really enjoy doing YouTube. It seems like the solution really is just finding what works for you. Like with Joanna, she got her job at the neighbouring restaurant as well, didn't she? And it wasn't really that the work was the problem, it was the people she was working with, and that is like half the battle. I remember I worked at an Amazon warehouse and it was just horrible because it was the peak of COVID and there was like no human interaction at all. And then I left that job and started another job, and this other job I had great co-workers, we all got along really well. It was like night and day. It was so much more enjoyable just because of the people that you work with. The people that you work with can make or break a job really. And we see with Joanna there's that kind of minimum wage, minimum effort kind of mentality. Corporations, like them trying to do the flares thing, them trying to force her to express herself when she doesn't really want to. She just wants to get her money, do her job, come back home. There are probably things that she enjoys. She might enjoy talking to customers, but it's being forced to put this like face of enjoyment on, which is kind of what her co-worker was doing. You know, he was super like energetic, and that just seems like this very American style of like waitering, being a waiter in America, because you have to survive off tips as well. Don't even get me started on tips in America, because you have to survive on tips. You put on this like fake front almost, don't you? And you have to be able to get by, to seem really friendly, so people will give you a nice tip, whatever. And I really loved when Peter, he was being super honest with the Bobs, and they were actually like really receptive to it. Him saying, yeah, like stock options, they're not going to encourage me. I don't have any form of encouragement for work. It's all discouragement. There's no positive reinforcement. It's always negative reinforcement from his like bosses telling him off if he does something wrong. There's never any positive reinforcement. I think that's really important, having positive reinforcement to do something rather than negative reinforcement stopping you from not doing it, you know? And the biggest form of positive reinforcement is money. There's people saying we're like in a worker crisis at the moment, that not enough people want to work. And it's not that people don't want to work, it's people don't want to work for a job that they're not getting paid enough to do. I know in America there's this big fight for the $15 an hour, but I believe it's actually, if you track worker productivity over time, it should be either $27 or $22, and people are still scraping by to try and get 15, and eventually 15 is not going to be enough. Here in the UK, we're having a crisis at the moment with the prices of everything going up, and wages aren't going up to match that. You know, if you get a raise and it's less than what the rate of inflation is, you're not getting a raise, you're getting a pay decrease because your buying power has gone down. You know, if inflation is 10% and you'll get a 5% raise, you're not actually getting any more buying power from that. You're getting even less buying power, and it's really frustrating. And I think a lot of people, we are very frustrated with the system that we have in place at the moment, because it just doesn't work. And here in the UK, this cost of living crisis, you know, it's the energy companies saying, because of everything happening in Russia, they're saying, oh, prices have to increase because of supply chain changes and things. Like, that's fair enough. And then when you look at it, they're having record profits. So it's not like the money's going there. The money's going straight into their bank accounts, and it feels like everyone knows that, and we're just not doing anything about it. It's just so frustrating. People are just sick of the corporate greed, aren't they? So I think this movie is very cathartic for a lot of people, seeing all of these things that they think and that they're worried about and that they're annoyed about being shown and discussed. Even the little things like the printer not working, that must have been super cathartic. Seeing them bashing up that printer, that was great. That's kind of how the movie makes you feel. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, consider leaving a like or a comment. And if you really loved it, be sure to subscribe so you can keep up to date for all of the future uploads. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.